What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mcfarlane Tours Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero GameStop Exclusive Edition. And so here we have the GameStop exclusive Sub-Zero pose and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. Sub-Zero comes with the exact same accessories that we saw with the initial release. He does come with two ice axes, which I really do love the way these ones look. They are cast in the same translucent blue as him, but they also do have the frosted effect to it. He also does come with a skull and spine, which again is done in the same translucent plastic, but has that white wash, which I wanted on the first one. He also does come with his Mortal Kombat Mcfarlane stand. Other than that, this Sub-Zero doesn't come with anything. I would have liked to see alternate hands, maybe an ice ball, but that's neither here nor there. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Sub-Zero. And so here we have a closer look at Sub-Zero, and they did a phenomenal job with this figure now. He is cast in the exact same mold as the initial release for Sub-Zero, so you're not going to see anything new from this figure other than the paint variation and the fact that he looks like an ice clone, which that's probably what drew me into this figure. If anything, I think I like the Sub-Zero exclusive better than the Scorpion one. But since we're having a look at Sub-Zero, all the details are here. I think they're a little more predominant just because they do have that white wash, just so it does look like he's an ice he's made of ice. It's a really nice effect. I do like it. There are a few issues I have with it, and we'll get into that when we have a closer look at some of the parts. But as far as the head sculpt goes, it's a perfect example of how good a figure can be when it's done in translucent figures. And this is actually the way I would prefer all ice-related figures look in the future. Again, we have a lot of nice detailing right here in his tunic, which is done in a somewhat soft plastic. It's not the softest, but it is a little bit soft. His shoulder pads are nicely done, going all the way around. I do like that the paint continues throughout the figure, that it's not just on the front. Arms, as you can see, have that really nice chill to them. It actually looks like it's cold, and it's a really nice little effect. Now, he does have the Lin Kuei Emblem right here. One issue I do have with this figure are the elbows and the knees. You can see his elbow is a solid piece of plastic. Now if you turn that around, that is a sore thumb. Just look at how that looks. That is a terrible design. If they had done that in the same plastic, it would look much better, but that looks atrocious, and it's the same for both elbows. Now, I guess you can say the same for the wrists. The wrists are done in that same color, but you can always hide the wrist so it does look a little bit better. And you can, of course, see the inner workings of the figure because he is done in translucent plastic, but you can see the joint right here is translucent. Why isn't that joint? I think Mcfarlane should have really thought about that with this figure. We do have the kunai strapped around his belts, so that looks good. The two little wakasashis, which unfortunately they're not removable. Would have liked to see those as removable accessories. Again, we have a sculpted Lin Kuei Emblem right there. Pants are done fantastic. Again, it looks like ice, so I do like that. On to his knees, which carry over the same issue as the elbows. That should be the same translucent plastic, and again the ankles do show that off, but again you can get away with that when posing. The knees and elbows, you just can't get around that. That is terrible planning, and I would have loved to see that in the same translucent plastic. It's not out of the realm of possibility, it's just that Mcfarlane didn't want to do it. It's not taking anything away. 98% of this figure looks fantastic, and I do appreciate that. So, with his detail out of the way, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Sub-Zero posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Sub-Zero posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Sub-Zero posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have Sub-Zero posed next to a Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat 2 Sub-Zero and a Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion. And finally, here we have the GameStop exclusive Sub-Zero posed next to the initial release of Sub-Zero. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Sub-Zero's articulation. His head is on a ball joint. Unfortunately, it feels like it's stuck. I can get the top ball joint to move, and that's the ball joint going from the neck piece into his head, where you can actually see where that ball joint is. It's really high up there. And we do have some up and down movement. We do have some slight head side to side tilt. Do be careful because, again, his head is attached to his neck, and that will butt up against this chest piece right here. I can't get the lower neck to move, and I do know that should be articulated, but unfortunately it doesn't want to move. We do have a swivel which goes about that far. Again, it is hindered by all his shoulder pads, so that's a little bit unfortunate. We do have a slight butterfly joint which does go forward and back very slightly. It's not the best we've ever seen. Arms do go up a generous amount. They do a full 360, although because of the way this is sculpted, it does go off to the side a little bit. We have a bicep swivel, double bend in the elbow, giving us a little better than 90 degrees. We have a ball hinge in the wrist, so we do have some rotation. We have up and down movement. If we do turn that joint around, we get in and out movement, so I really do like ball hinge in the wrist. We do have a ball joint in the torso, and I want to say it's a double ball joint right here in this top part of his torso. Unfortunately, it's hindered by all this garb that he's wearing, so we really don't get this joint moving. It's all done right here at his waist. He does go back to about that far, can crunch forward only to about there, does turn left and right, and we get some really nice pivot, so I do like that. Legs do kick forward to about there, kick back all the way, go out to the side a generous amount. It does appear like there is a thigh swivel built in, but the way it's sculpted, it doesn't really allow for a thigh swivel, but we do have rotation down here at the knee. We do have a double bend at the knee, if I can get this joint working. There we go. Double bend in the knee, works pretty good. We do have rotation here at the ankle with a ball hinge, so we can actually turn that joint around, giving him a complete rocker, which is pretty good. We can have it hinge forward and back, pivot side to side, and then we do have a really generous toe joint which goes all the way back. That's unnatural, but that's Sub-Zero for you guys. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the GameStop exclusive Sub-Zero pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I really did love this figure to begin with. I think Sub-Zero is a really nice figure. However, I do feel like this Ice Clone Sub-Zero might be a stronger figure. I think I enjoy the novelty of the translucent plastic, and that whitewash just makes it look so nice. Again, it's a really nice sculpt, and if I had to choose between the two, I would still go get the original version, but if you can find this guy, I really do recommend you pick him up and add him to your collection. He'll look nice next to Sub-Zero, especially because Sub-Zero is known for making ice clones. You're going to want to have an ice clone Sub-Zero in your collection. Now, if you are looking for this particular Sub-Zero, he is exclusive only to GameStop, so if you haven't already found him, go ahead and check the GameStop website. I believe he's still in stock. Or you can walk into GameStop and he will run you $22.99. I think I did pay $22 for both Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which is a really good pricing, is how the original pair was $25. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Mortal Kombat videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. You don't want to miss out on any of my reviews, so ring that notification bell, and you'll never miss a beat. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.